Oh dear me. Okay, well, sorry about that, everybody. I had the best intro. It was just the best intro. It probably would have moved you to tears had my mic only been working. But thank you for letting me know. Hey, Nanani and Louder360. Thanks, guys, and hello, Simtem. Welcome, everyone. All right, let's get some stuff done. Oh, we have so much to get done. The first thing before I forget, we've got the special grotto waterfall guy. What's his name? City Waterfall Cove. I just need to check his shop. We need to make sure he sells logs and twigs because you can actually run out of those in the world, which is probably something we want to address. But you should be able to turn money into that stuff if you want to. So I don't exactly know what season goes to what. I think we'll just make sure that every season has available. Oops. Okay, let's check out City Waterfall Cove and save it. We don't want to sell Instagrow twice. We want to sell logs and twigs. Duplicate array elements, twigs, and stone. And it'll always be at the bottom. And that should be like a little safety net for the economy should you run out of those things. Is it stone? It's called stone? Yeah. Okay, so those three things in every season. And I just want to make sure. I could have sworn I added it before. One moment. Sorry, I had to sneeze. All right. How is your tooth? My teeth are fine. Yeah, my teeth are fine. I was working the day I got home from the surgery. I was literally still on anesthesia. But my recovery was fine. Especially the first 3 days didn't really hurt. And then in like day 4, then I was like, oh, okay, I see why this is a thing. I see why this is a recovery. But yeah, pretty much eating everything as well. Thanks for asking. How much are you spoiling today? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think we're going into heavy spoiler stuff because I just have some like bugs to fix. A lot of systemic bugs. Wombat saying there's a wood shortage made me chuckle. Yes, so speaking of wood shortage, that's what we're working on right now. Yeah, and Jacqueline has found that as well. She's running out of logs, so. Oh, okay, here's twigs and logs in this season. So I think I just only put it in winter. I just didn't think people would be running out so quickly, but people are prolific. So I'll always do them in the same order. Logs, twigs, stone. And that will fix the economy temporarily. Oops, come on. Okay, okay. Duplicate array element, duplicate array element. Logs, twigs, stone. All right, there we go. Logs, twigs, stone. So that's all of them. And then if I save that, that should solve our issues. I guess this guy has a prefab, but it shouldn't matter because this is the only instance of him in the world, so who cares? Simtem says, did the next fest pick up for you towards the end or still not as expected? I think I was seeing it towards the top in the cozy section. Yeah, our next fest, it didn't really have a normal curve. It like normally next fest kind of humps in the middle, but our next fest just kind of kept going up like until the last day, which is just a very strange next fest curve. And we ended up next fest with 11,000 wish lists for the festival, which it's definitely at the low end of my window of expectations, but it actually fell into my window of expectations, whereas at the beginning, it was looking like it wasn't. It was looking like, oh my God, we're not even going to get 10,000. But we did get 10,000 by the end. We got 11,000. So just barely in there. Just having looked at other NextFest data from Chris Sikowski, who really is the only data I know on NextFest specifically, I was seeing top games, get 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. And after having done NextFest, I really think that most of the games at the top, not all of them, but most of them, like definitely like 3/4 of them, had a demo drop very recently. Most of them even like specifically for NextFest. Like they did their demo drop for NextFest. And those are the ones by and large at the top of the charts. Again, there were a couple that are just so insanely powerful that they did their demo drop a while ago and they're still getting those kinds of numbers. But our demo drop got 30,000 wish lists without NextFest. So it makes me feel like NextFest is really not moving the needle. I shouldn't say moving the needle. That makes it sound very insignificant. NextFest is not doing the heavy lifting that I thought it was. It seems to be the PR beat is doing the heavy lifting for most people. And our PR beat was strong. I mean, our demo drop was strong. So if we had timed our demo drop with NextFest, would I really have expected to get 50,000 wish lists? Because if you include our demo drop, 30,000 plus our NextFest, 11,000, that's 41,000 wish lists. No, I wouldn't expect to be more than 40, that's top NextFest stuff. So I don't think we did anything wrong in terms of our timing. I think it went fine. When you look at the holistic, demo drop plus NextFest, I think it's okay. I think we're okay. I think I just overestimated how much weight NextFest could pull just on its own. Our demo drop really was our big moment, and it went swimmingly. So it's all right. It's okay. Now we're just focused on release. Release date announcement is our next big beat, and then release is our next thing after that. Hey, Nani says, also chest storage, then less wood to make chests. Yes, so we've increased chest storage. Actually, that's something I wanted to ask Jacqueline about. Yeah, I don't know. I freak out about these things. We've got a lot to lose here. Actually, I wanted to go ask Jacqueline about the chest storage. Okay, so she's got, I think she might already have the big chests. So is it like chest purchasable or something? Let's do item data. craftable chest. Check out. And then let's check the craftable chest prefab. Open the prefab. Comes with 16. So she has 3 rows of 4 is 12. So I've expanded it by 4. So that's big. They're very big. It's kind of a big change to look at the container UI and expand the width of it is kind of scary, but that would allow us to make much bigger chests. Let's go into 2D mode here. Container UI, let's turn that on because this is how it goes at the moment, but I don't know why I didn't make this 5 wide. But if I did make it 5 wide, let's see, how would I go about doing that? So it wouldn't be like that. Oh, it undid that. Okay, there we go. So we got 4. Let's go 5. Okay, look at that. Now we could do 15. Gosh, we could get really crazy with these chests. We could get 20. Let's do it because we have the testers right now. So if it breaks a bunch of stuff, okay, we'll go through some growing pains. Let's do that. Let's see what happens. Let's live on the edge a little. So I'll just do that, and then I will apply the changes on the UI. Okay. Hello, Loopercal. Game development is going. It's going, but it's not. We're not in an ideal situation, I would say. God, we have not that much time and a lot to do. Yes, people seem to love hoarding way more than I do, which is probably part of the problem. So let's check the craftable chests and let's just go absolutely massive with them. So I'm got 16 here. Let's go 20. This is cray. Visionary watches. Hello and welcome. Says, what's your advice for beginner game dev? I'm just doing this as a hobby, but I feel like I don't understand the programming aspect of it. I'm following Code Monkey. Got any suggestions? I am the wrong guy to ask. I really am. I am so out of touch with the beginner world of game dev. I got my first job in the games industry when I was 18 years old. I started doing 3D art more than full time at 16. I was doing it like 12 hours a day. It's all I did. And I was really specializing. I wasn't just like starting game dev generically. When I started game dev, there wasn't really such thing as like a game dev who does everything, who like makes entire games. When I started, it really was seen as a very team thing. And you don't like become a game dev, you become an artist, or you become a programmer, or whatever specialization, or designer was also specialization. And you started working on just the specialization. I don't know though, things are different. So I think I'm the wrong person to ask. But I do know just generally when learning things, sometimes it can feel like you don't understand, like everything feels very misty. And then you just keep hacking, and the mist slowly starts clearing in sections, and you start to see the connections, and you're like, oh, I see. Now I understand this one little thing and why you might do that. And then you just keep going, and the mist just slowly starts clearing, and you just have to trust the process and keep going. But it does seem like people get stuck in this tutorial hell thing. This has never happened to me. I've never followed tutorials. I never like just watch what someone does and do exactly what they do. I always watch what someone does, and then I immediately think of like how that applies to what I'm doing. I don't know, maybe that could be helpful. I'm not ever someone who's ever followed a single tutorial thing ever before. I'm immediately like, they're like saying, oh, well, we'll do this to, make the player move. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm doing my own thing now. I'm just after figuring out what I want to do. How can I use what they just showed me to do what I want to do with it? But everyone works different and everyone learns different. So who knows? I don't know. Not me. I don't know. What I want to do is put... I just want to at least test the craftable chest here. I just want to put one in my inventory. So this is the name of the item. And then we'll start developer start settings. I'll go ahead and go into the developer start settings and check it out. And I want to remove the two items, the two instruments, just because it's kind of annoying when you start the game to get the little tutorials. So I'll just do that real quick. Now we'll save projects. And then we'll pop in. I'm going to give myself the craftable chest. I'm going to test it real quick. Visionary Watches says, if you were a 3D artist, how come you made this game in 2D? Well, our last game, Eastshade, is 3D. And Eastshade, you play as a traveling artist. And we spent a long time on it. It shipped in 2019. And it was kind of a mid-tier indie hit. Yeah, it wasn't like a hit, but it was, I would call it like an upper class indie hit. It grossed between $3 and $4 million, and that was sort of like my baby. And then after that, and I've been working with my wife on it, and now Songs of Glimmerwick is her baby, and she is a 2D artist. Well, she's lots of things, but she's more of a 2D artist, and she's the art director. So, and creative director and designer and lead writer and all this stuff. So that's why the game looks in her style, and I'm sort of a technical director role and just in charge of shaders and bringing it to life and everything. But the game is it's not totally 2D. It's kind of in the middle. There's a lot of 3D stuff going on too. It's a really weird art pipeline, which I'm really proud of it. I'm going to give myself an item, the craftable chest. I'll give myself one of them, and then I will build the chest, open it. Look at that. It's still going 4 rows, so I don't know why, because I just changed the UI. So it doesn't want... it doesn't want to do the UI that I thought I just updated. I'm going to open the UI. I'm going to go world UI. So here's the container. It is using the one that we just made. And I'm scrolling down here and I'm seeing that the constraint seems to still be 4. I don't know. So now it's going to 5. It's so huge. And it goes to 4 every time. I think someone must be setting this constraint count somewhere. So Lupercal says, my advice is make a game with one mechanic and programmer art. Make games that teach you skills. That seems like decent advice. Especially if you want to go the programmer route. Let me check the container. The container constraint count does say 5 right now. So someone is setting that guy. Who, I don't know. But this field, I imagine it is saying constraint count. So I imagine we're not touching that a lot in code. So if I go into code and just search project wide for constraints, hopefully this is what it's called. And I'll look in the Unity documentation in case it's not. So I didn't find anything. Somebody must be setting that. Unity constraints counts. So they might have called it something else. So it looks like it is grid layout group constraint count. The only thing is it match case? Constraint count, no. So it should have found it. There it is. There it is. Quest item collector. Okay, here we go. Interesting. So the chest itself can set the constraint count. I did not know that. So let's go into the craftable chest. Simtime says you're going to be selling the game OST as a supporters pack or something. We have thought a little bit about what we're going to do about that. I probably will just sell the soundtrack separately. We have a different rev split on the soundtrack for our composer, which makes it complicated to package it in a supporter pack. Because if we did like, if we added, you know, a certain amount of money, $5 or $10 for supporter pack, and included the soundtrack, we have a very heavy rev split on soundtrack sales toward our composer. He gets most of the money for the soundtrack, which is nice. I mean, that's good. But if the supporter pack is, you know, largely the value of it is the soundtrack, and then the rev split is such that most of the money is going to the supporter, it's not really a developer sort of supporter pack. It's more like a composer supporter pack. So we would have to make a supporter pack that did not include the soundtrack, and then we would just sell the soundtrack on the side. But I don't know. It feels far away, but I know it's not. It's coming up. Oh, it's coming up. Okay, craftable. But we need to do some kind of supporter pack because some people are really excited about the game, and it's gonna be really hard to make sure we make enough money to stay in business. So if somebody is super excited about the game and wants to help us out, we should make a way to do that. So here we go. So now I've set that to 5. Yeah, the attachment rate on supporter packs, again, according to Chris Sikowski's data collection, he's just one of the only shops in town who is looking into this kind of stuff. So I end up quoting his data a lot, but I just want to give credit where credit's due. It seems to be between 10 and 20% for that, so could be a lot of money depending on what your game sales are like. Simtem says, what's your take on the whole Sony abandoning physical release? Did eShade ever get physical copies? No, we never did physical. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that at all. I have not looked into it. I do not have time. Oh yeah, so I'll give myself craftable chest 1. Yeah, I am unfortunately I don't have, not able to do any normal things that normal people are able to do right now. Just suffer as much as possible. Okay, that is the hugest chest ever. I wonder, is that what we should do? That is massive chest. Okay. Surely people will be pleased with that. And then I just want to make sure the one inside your hut is also expansive. Inside your shed. Shed. Interior. Is it not called a shed? What is it called? Shed. Garden shed interior. Okay. Let's open that up and make sure we can. This thing is also got 5 and 20. Awesome. Check out and save. Can we make it? Can we make it have 6 and 24? How crazy can we get with this? Can we make it have 7? What's and 27? Right? What's 4 times 7, guys? 28? What's stupid? Oh, go back to school, you idiot. In order to test that, it's just going to be easier to do it outside. So let's go. Let's get the craftable chest. And I'll just try doing 28 and 7. What does that look like? Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. What does that look like? Curious. It didn't look like it saved. There it goes. Okay. Oh, we had a follow at the beginning that I totally just remembered that I completely forgot about. Elond, if you're still around, thank you for the follow 25 minutes ago. Sorry. To thank you. I really should exit out of Steam. I don't know if it's going to let me. You know what? It's probably going to try to close Glimmerwick now, the editor. The editor will attach to Steam in play mode. See, there it goes. Cancel. Okay, cool. That fixed it. So give me a craftable chest 1. And what does that look like? Big chungus. Why are we uneven? What did I do wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's gonna be 14, 21, 22, 23, 24. Did I not set this up correctly? What's the problem? I said 28. So why are we missing ones here? Well, I have no idea, but I'm just gonna... We'll try that. I don't know why it's missing ones at the end, but let's give ourselves a craftable chest. Okay, look at that. This is disgusting for you hoarders out there. This is absolutely unhinged. Let's go with that. That's a really huge chest. I mean, I'm gonna leave these chests. I'll leave just 20, but the chest on the inside will have 4 extra slots. I guess I've never really minded, as I'm thinking about that physical thing, I've never really minded like the idea that I don't truly own the games that I buy does not bother me in the least. I don't mind paying for a ticket to play. I've never been someone who tries to sell back my games. I'm not like proud of my games collection. Like I don't feel like that's a part of my identity. So it doesn't really bother me. I've never been a very physical person. Like some people really like to hold something in their hands. I'm not like that. I'm not someone who likes things in general. I don't really like to like buy things. I don't really get excited about things as much as I think most people do, so it doesn't bother me too much. Yes, so let me just make sure that the craftable chest has 20. 20 is what I wanted. And then the one inside, I wanted to have 24. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I try to keep it together on stream, but sometimes I lose it. Okay, 20 and 5. That's beautiful. And now garden, shed interior. Let's open that. And then 24 and 6. That's perfect. This is exactly what we want. This is good. Okay. And I think we're good there. So we've expanded the slots significantly. Now I want to move on to the next thing, which is that Clover's mouth is her mouth shapes are just like disappearing sometimes. I don't really know when that started happening, if it has been happening for a while and I did not notice, but I noticed that she is missing a critical mouth shape, which is mouth cheese. So I don't understand how she's been talking at all. Her mouth open also looks different than everyone else's. She has lips, and most of the other characters don't have lips. So I want to, I think, I just feel like something is going on with her mouth shapes, potentially an accident, but like her piercing goes away too. What's up with that? There's her O sticks around. I just don't know if we should leave the lips on there because like other people don't have lips. So I think I'm gonna remove them to make it more consistent with the other NPCs. So let's see. It's gonna be anim sprites. Oh, we've got the front too. What's going on in her front? Let me see if it's different. So we have 3/4 and we have front view, and let's go indie. And let's check her mouth shape. So she has a mouth. Look at that mouth cheese. Oh, it's the wrong shape. It's the wrong shape. That's a frown, apparently. Just piercing and nothing. But she never uses her frown, so who cares? Mouth open. Everything just looks wrong about this. Maybe I'll leave her lips, but she definitely needs a mouth cheese, and I'm hoping that's going to solve the problem. Yeah, well, that's good. All right. It would be nice if I could exit out of Steam here. So let me attempt to. It will probably require me closing Unity, which is annoying. Okay, so we're saving everything. Let's exit out of Unity. It's going to be a long road here. So I'm closing Unity. Hopefully Steam is all right with this. And then I'm going to close out of Steam. Exit. Finishing Cloud Sync. All right then. Okay, cool. It actually closed, which gruntles me. Gruntles me so. Now let's open up the hub. Oh, I'll tell you what news. The only news that I saw, I watch sometimes when I'm feeding my baby, which takes up like literally 2.5 hours of my day, which is crazy. If anyone has never had an infant, you will spend, if you are the only caregiver, then I'm sorry for you. I don't know how you survive, but you'll be spending like 6 hours a day just feeding the baby, just both your arms, bottle in the mouth, can't do anything else, or breastfeeding the baby and you can hardly do anything else. Anyway, I turn on this was a YouTube channel, like Games from Scratch, I think it's called, and he likes to just talk about tools, just game engines, industry news, whatever. It feels like I'm doing something, even though I'm not. I'm just feeding the baby. I guess I'm keeping the baby alive, which some people say is important. And I was hearing about the new Unreal 6. Is very disturbing direction. I feel like the whole, oh man, the little clips I saw of like the Unreal Fest or something just icked me out so bad when they're like, we're moving to this new language called Verse, and it's gonna let us, like, he was talking about, you'll be able to download like a car asset, but it won't just be like a mesh and like animations and stuff. It will be a whole working module, he said. You'll just be able to put the car in the game and it'll just work. And he said the same thing about like Fortnite skins for your characters, that you'll be able to put them in your own games. It sounded like just NFT drivel. Like it just sounded so out of touch and brain dead. Like it is literally like corporate CEO goo goo gaga coming out of this guy's mouth. And they were all like that. It didn't seem like anyone had any shred of game dev in them. Like it was such these things that they're pursuing are they're so silly and fake. And like, it just seemed like, yeah, a corporate direction who's never done anything creative ever in their entire life. And they're just really excited about these weird, I don't know why the corporate exec bros always seem to have a sort of weird fantasy of being able to transfer game assets between games, as if that makes any freaking sense whatsoever. Putting a Fortnite skin. Oh, can I put a Fortnite skin on our people in Glimmerwick? Should I do that? It's like, what do you mean that the car will just work? What are you talking about? Like, what? Every single game is different. The camera is different. The freaking game world is different. The perspective is different. Like, it could be a 2D game. Like, every game is so different. It's not a code problem. It's not like, oh, well, if we use the right program. Like, what are you talking about? It's so weird. They're such weird people. They're just so, it's like whenever a game dev gets or a game engine gets popular enough, it gets slurped up by the corporate goo goo gaga brains. And they're just like, you know what this needs is some NFT shit. It was so crazy. It just makes me really feel like Godot has to work. Godot has to work because we need to run from this crap. Babies are notoriously hungry. I know, they're so hungry and they have such small stomachs. To be fair, if I had to double my body weight in 3 months, I'm pretty sure that I would be hungry all the time. And I'm sure I would also be like gassy all the time. And I'd probably be crying all the time too. So fair enough, but it is hard. Raf G says, I am a game dev that sucks at art, but master the programming. I always end up giving up on my games because they look ugly. Any low-hanging fruits or advice? Get an artist. That's my advice. If you don't have art and you want your games to have art, then you need somebody who can do art. And if you don't know how to do art, it's like if you want to build a house and you don't have a roofer, then your house will not have a roof, or it'll have a really bad roof and it won't keep the rain out well. And you need to either hire a roofer or learn how to roof yourself. And if you're like, well, I don't have money to pay an artist. If you don't have money to pay a roofer, then you don't build a house. That's it. It's sad, but I think that that's how it works. My mic is off? No. Wait a minute. Am I using the correct mic? Can anyone else not hear me? Because I've been talking a long time. I have 2 audio capture devices. Let's see, this one is. No, this one is my computer. And that clipped, I saw, so that's definitely my mic. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Oh, okay, cool. All right, how can we make more money with less people to pay? I know, right? Oh, cool. Well, thank you for watching that Thomas Brush interview, and hello, welcome to the stream. Okay, everyone can hear, very good. My stance on AI is what you would expect it to be, I think. It makes me feel hollow inside. But I will try not to get started on it. But yes, I think we humiliate ourselves when we use AI, especially for art. I think for code, it doesn't make me feel as hollow inside, but it also makes, I also feel like using AI will make the first 90% easier and the last 10% harder. But the last 10% is the hardest part, and the last 10% is all we care about, because the first 90% is easy as pie, and the last 10% is the hard part, where we run into all of our problems. So we're making the easy parts easier and the hard parts harder. I think that it's going to doom us all. And I think that the best software developers will probably continue to not use AI. Howdy, Navasha, by the way. MK Tom Brady is 48 years old. I'm so excited for this game. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. And thank you for playing Eastshade. Thank you. Okay. So speaking of Navasha, we were working on Clover, and Clover is the voice actress. Navasha is the voice actress for Clover, which is kind of fun. And she's in the chat there. So she doesn't have a mouth cheese, and I don't know how this has happened, and I don't know how long she hasn't had one, but she needs one. So I guess if she really has, if Clover's mouth has been like this for a while, I'll keep it like that. So let's go into, we'll start with the front view, and let's go indie, and here's her mouth. So I guess we'll take the mouth open, we'll duplicate it, and we'll call it mouth cheese. So cheese is just, oh, we already have a mouth cheese in here. What's going on here? Oh, there's the mouth cheese. So that's not a mouth cheese. That's the wrong phoneme. So let's make sure to check out the mouth cheese in here. So anim sprites and front and indie and mouth cheese. So that's one of them. We need to do the other. So we also need 3/4, and indie and mouth cheese. Let's check out that one. And let's open both of these. So there's the one, and here's the other. Okay, so are they the exact same? So this one doesn't have a piercing, which is just, what are we doing here? What's going on? Like, why does one have a piercing and one? I don't understand. So the front one doesn't have a piercing. I'm just gonna work with the front one. We actually have space for a piercing. So because the cheese phoneme, this is the wrong cheese phoneme. She needs to be like this, but really it should be more rounded at the sides. So I'm just gonna pull pull this way. And we'll get a little bit wider here. I don't want this sort of weird skewing thing that's going on. Let's get rid of that. Come on now. I will go like cheese phoneme. Just let's take a look here. Come on now. Cheese mouth shape phoneme. So this is the one I'm thinking of. I don't know if this is good reference. Kind of just wanted a person. It's the teeth, and we don't put teeth in all of them. Here's a more stylized. This is a creepy mouth, but it's really something like this or like that. So it's more of a rounded look. And I don't know if she's had the lips for a long time. Or if there's a weird bug going on, but we're going to find out. First, we just want to make sure we have all the phonemes. So we're just going to round the lips there. And I'm going to go without teeth for the moment. So here we'll just crunch that down and save. And I reckon we can just take the top of this and maybe mash it down a little bit and round out the corners there. Okay. Something like that. And then we will save that. So now we want to make sure it's actually in, because it didn't seem like we even had the cheese phoneme in there. So here's mouth cheese and it's got nothing. So I'm going to duplicate this attachment and then we're going to rename this to mouth cheese. And that should just automatically pull it. So that's a pretty bad mouth cheese, but it just flashes for a second, so it doesn't really matter that much. The O and then mouth open. This is my mouth cheese. Okay, so it looks like, I'm just looking at myself as reference. It looks like the jaw sort of opens, like the top lip doesn't move that much, which is pretty much what she does here. So I think that that's good. So that's that angle. I need to check out this, and it's going to be main rig update. We'll check that out. We also need to check out the output folder. Spine, outputs, player official, and it's isn't it player official or something? Let's see. player official. Okay, there we go. Let's check that out. All right. So now we should be able to save. I don't know why in the setup we have her eyes double. Why? Actually, yeah, why are her eyes doubled? Oh, it's her eyelashes. I don't know what is going on with that. So much weird stuff going on with Indy's rig here. So maybe I should have left them on. Maybe I shouldn't mess with that. I'm having some second thoughts. Second guessing myself. I guess we'll turn, but it's just a slot, just a random slot. There's no way, man. There's no way that hanging slot is supposed to be active. It's just weird. Why does she have lashes separate from her eyes? I mean, she already has eyelashes here. It's very odd. Let's turn off the lashes. And now let's make sure that we have the mouth cheese phoneme here. Cheese. Okay, mouth closed. And that's just one. So the other thing that we can fix, simply because we have the main rig checked out, this is weird. She has those. Oh, it's because we have that pinned. All right. Oh, you know, I didn't check if she has the piercing. So she got the piercing there. Mouth O, she's got the piercing there. Mouth open, she's got the piercing there. So she's got everything she needs. Now let's check the front. And let's check all of her. Mouth cheese, she's got a double piercing in mouth cheese. What? How's that possible? What other... Oh, now I understand. The front view has her piercing built into her face. Why? Well, why is one completely different than the other? I don't know, but we don't question it. It's not time to fix it. This is not the time in development to fix this. Now we just go forth with what we have exactly as we have it. There we go. Yeah, and it's strange that her piercing doesn't move, but most of the time she's talking in 3/4 anyway, because all the characters look better in 3/4. So it might be there for eyes closing animation, but usually we don't show the lashes when the eyes are closed. But I don't know, maybe I just messed something up. Hey, Cap Crook, welcome, welcome. All right, so the thing I needed to look at is what's going on with New Guy. New Guy is like wearing a Speedo. At the Seaflower Festival because his draw order is incorrect. So let me check out New Guy. So looking at the skin that makes him up, it's New Guy plus Uni. And I don't know how the skin is constructed, but we're just going to have to repro the bug in Unity, or sorry, in Spine. So let's find New Guy. He's a student, and here he is. Here's New Guy. So we'll pin his skin, and then we'll set the wetsuit swimming. So that's not it. It's just going to be wetsuit. Wetsuit. So he looks good here. Maybe if we pin wetsuit and then go New Guy, he still looks good. What about the front? So here, let's try going New Guy. Students. New Guy. Oh, this one, is this one different? I don't know. Let's pin that and then let's add the wetsuit. Interesting. Why do we do this? So let's open the bug board. Let's close these creepy mouths and check out. There should be a picture. Okay, so here he's in the front view. Is he? Or is he 3/4? Let's check. Okay, so he's at 3/4. And I wonder why he looks fine. I wonder maybe this is how we're setting it up. Maybe we're like, he's definitely in 3/4. Maybe we do new guy and pin that, and then we do player. Maybe. Player, and then pin that, and then do wetsuit. No, I still can't reproduce the bug. All right, so maybe we do player and then pin that, and then we do new guy, pin that, and then we do wetsuit. No, still can't reproduce it. So it could be that we just fixed it, and once I export, it will fix his draw order. I doubt it, because I don't remember fixing it, and I don't know who else would have fixed it, so we'll see. But it takes an awful long time to export, unfortunately. It takes a few minutes. So if anyone has any questions, I'm open to chatting, because I have nothing to do for about 5 minutes here. And I can't go into Unity. I find that if I go into Unity while this thing is exporting, all hell breaks loose. One moment. Okay, Raf G asks, what's the plan after Glimmerwick? Death. Time to die. It's been a good run, but I will be walking into the sea like a spirit and perishing and sending off into the next life. No, but really, we will be just grinding on updates. I mean, hopefully, when the game launches, the game will be buggy. It just will. It's a huge game. We didn't hire enough people. We don't have any more money. It's going to be a rough landing, and it breaks our hearts, and we're grieving. I'm already grieving the launch of Glimmerwick, but we're just doing the best we can, and we just have to launch, and that's it. I'm just hoping that the game will enchant people enough to where it will start off with some kind of decent sales curve, and that there will actually be an audience to push updates to. I think like spring and summer, it seems, are quite strong. At least we're getting really good feedback. Fall is kind of where the game starts to fall apart a little bit. We need more polish there. Well, so there's just also a lot of bugs. I mean, we're still fixing them, and we still have some time, and hopefully we'll get rid of certainly the progress impeders and some of the other more ugly sort of bugs. But then we're just going to be focusing on updates, and I don't know how long we're going to do that. 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year. I don't know. Minimum 3 months for sure. Everybody, all hands, 3 months. We're just going to keep going. Probably not quite at the same pace, but hopefully close to it, and just keep making the game better and better. And it's the only thing I can think about I mean, I can't think about our next game. I do fantasize about our next game sometimes. All the things we'll do better. Um, yeah, so many things I could have done better. I could have set up better. But of course, the biggest mistake, as I've already complained about many times on the stream, the biggest mistake we made is we didn't hire enough people early in development. We should have hired at least 2 more people. And that is really, might end the studio, really. I mean, it could be a fatal decision. If Glimmerwick, it comes out and it's rough enough, I hope it won't be, but I need to keep the fear of God to keep going. Koi Koopa says, I want to ask, do you not advise going to Unreal Engine 6 to learn it according to their roadmap? I want your opinion on that. You know, I have never used Unreal 5. I've never even used Unreal 4. I've used UDK, which is like Unreal 3, but just for portfolio pieces. I've never used it in a video game environment. I don't know. I mean, Unreal 6 is a big engine. Unreal is a big engine, so it has a big community. It's hard to tell, you know, someone who's sort of getting into things, you know, not to go in that direction. It's an industry standard engine. So I don't really look at game engines like, I don't know, like you can learn anything, you know. It's not, your core game development skills are not tied to your engine. So I would say, you know, don't worry too much about it, and just, you know, if Unreal has the things that you feel like you need for your game or portfolio or whatever it is that you want to accomplish, looks like we're okay here, just warnings, then I think that's a great thing to use. I would never, like, I don't know. If your goal, I guess, if your goal is to get into the industry, I think I should remove this missing conversation here. If there's 2 missing conversations, I don't like that. That doesn't sound good. If your goal is to either, yeah, I don't know. What are your goals, Koya Koopa? Do you want to get hired somewhere, or are you just looking to make a game? Because I guess either way, you know, for East Shade Studios, I do think a little bit long term. I don't want to be, I guess, in a tech stack that is going in a direction that I personally don't like, but I guess, and that's what everyone's worried about. But I think that for someone learning, it matters less, because you don't get to choose, right? You don't get to choose what engine. I get to choose, you know, what we use, and there's nobody that's going to force me, you know, because I have my own company. So, but if I was trying to get hired, I wouldn't really care about what I like personally. I would just care about what would get me hired, I guess. Danvis says, you've probably been asked this a million times, but have you been finding game development this time? Oh, how have you been finding game development this time compared to eShade? Well, it is definitely, my wife and I have 2 children. We have an infant and a toddler, and it's really, really hard. It's really, really hard. And it makes me really sad that I can't focus on the game like I was able to do for eShade. And yeah, it really bums me out, breaks my heart, and it sucks. It really sucks. And I just hope the game is good enough. But I know that we can do better, but we can't do better. This is the best we can do because we have the kids, and it's just completely destroys, you know, destroys your ability to throw yourself into something completely. So, you know, I mean, I'm working harder than I've ever worked in my life when you include the childcare, because childcare is hard. It's like even more draining than working on the game. And then you have to sit down at your computer and focus, and it's really hard. So just for that reason, just for having kids, having young children, plus game dev family, right? Because my wife and I both do it, and we're in this really difficult season of life, and I hate it, and I'm ready for it to be over. But I know it sounds very doom and gloom, but I know it's very temporary, and you know, I just want to get through 2026 and look forward to hopefully things getting easier. Koi Koopa says, just to make games, not thinking to get hired. Gotcha. Well, I don't know if you need like really shiny graphics and you don't want to like develop your own graphics like pipelines and stuff, then Unreal is hard to beat. It looks really good. So let's check the Seaflower Festival. Let's check. I'll do, well, actually, so now we should have Clover's new stuff. So let's do Pamphlet Day, and let's see if her mouth shapes are actually working here. Yeah, if we didn't have kids, this game, I think it would probably ship at the same time, but it would be a lot better and less buggy and stuff. Oops. Uh-oh. God dang it. Well, I think this will get fixed if we exit out of play mode and go back in. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a reason why maternity and paternity leave exist. I think it's really hard to do anything when you have an infant. Infants are absolutely brutal. They're grueling. They just take like, yeah, I think taking care of an infant is, in my opinion, and I'm really not exaggerating, in my opinion, it's two, maybe 2.5. Let's go with 2.5. I think it's 2.5 full-time jobs, in my opinion. Just one infant. It's 2.5 full-time jobs. Right, let's go talk to Clover. And you can never be off. You can never sleep.
To read this pamphlet.
There, her mouth is fixed.
We're all in huge danger. So wild.
At least the front view is fixed.
Okay, so what?
Good morning. The headmistress formally invites you. Please note that this...
You'd better not be getting expelled.
Okay. All right, cool. So Clover's fixed. It seems like everyone's fixed. Oh yeah, the other thing I didn't check is D. So we got to check the Seaflower Festival anyway. So I got to check D's mouth shapes, and then we'll be in a good shape. And then I think I can maybe kick a build. I need a poll localization and then kick a build, and then we'll be good. All right, so let's go Seaflower Festival. Here we go. There needs to be more support for parents raising kids since society keeps insisting people have kids. It infuriates me. Yes, the cost of having children is so insanely, is really, really high. I mean, I think most of the people who aren't having kids, or most of the young people who have no interest in kids, just feel like they would never be able to afford it in terms of money or time money. However, those things are the same. Time and money are the same, right? If you have a full-time job, how can you have a kid unless you're going to pay for full-time care, which means that your full-time job needs to make so much money that it needs to cover somebody else's full-time job so that somebody can be caring for your kid full-time. And it's just an extremely expensive thing, and there's no public funding for it. Where, at least in the United States, we're very much like, the kid is your problem, which is fine, especially if as a society you want people to have less kids, which is a valid viewpoint. If you think that humans are destroying the environment and we shouldn't be having so many humans, I can completely understand that. And some people think it's really selfish to have kids. I don't know. I'm kind of, it seems humanity seems to want to have children. I mean, when you look at, countries that have population decline, it's not a usually a happy thing for them. But if you care more about the environment, then obviously the most moral thing would be everyone to collectively just immediately commit suicide. That might be the best thing for planet Earth. But I don't know. It's hard for me to reconcile those two. I mean, how can I go on in the world thinking that, feeling that way? So if you do want people to have children, which most governments do, seems to be good for the economy and stuff. then yes, I agree. I don't know why you wouldn't have more public funding. I don't know why you wouldn't have cheaper childcare. I don't know why you wouldn't subsidize childcare. But
Ready for me to ferry you to the festival?
so her mouth, let's say, not yet.
Ready for me to ferry you to the festival?
I don't know. Her phonemes are kind of weird.
Ready for me to ferry you to the festival?
No, her mouth is disappearing. There's some funky stuff going on with Dee's mouth. We're not there yet. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we got the name of the slots wrong or something. This looks good, so I'm pleased about that. Let's check out Fairy Girl. Oh, Danvis says, really sorry to hear that you're struggling. I know it's probably an empty platitude, but I'm sure Glimmerwick will turn out great. No, it's not empty. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Hopefully it does. Hopefully we'll, be able to do enough, and we'll look back on this and it'll just be, I mean, with E-Shade, it was a grueling crunch, but it felt like it was a grueling crunch to make a great game. And it felt like we were doing the grueling crunch so that the game would ship and it would be something close to, what we wanted. And with Glimmerwick, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's beyond a grueling crunch, and we're not making the perfect game that we want to make. We're just doing the grueling crunch to ship with shame, basically. That's kind of what it feels like. Not that the game holistically, that we're ashamed of it, like especially spring and summer, but we know we could do better. We know we could do better. We know we could do so much better. And every criticism we read will be like a dagger. It'll just hurt so much more when people will be like, this was kind of empty. It'll just feel like, yeah, we know, and it kills us, and we're killing ourselves to try, to do what we know will make the game better. But there just don't have enough hours to do it. Latimoy says, I feel like a kid is like a drug. It ruins you, but makes you somehow happy. Yeah, most good things are hard, right? Kids are really hard. Hey, Nani says, where's the lie? I assume you're talking about the society making it so hard. At least America. I can't remember if you're American, hey, Nani, but we're very individualistic here. Like, well, if I'm not having kids, so, someone else having kids, fuck them, right? Not my problem. Koi Koopa says, these are the best times. Oh, you understand your own parents. Yeah. No, yeah, I knew it was hard. Even when I was a kid, I knew it was hard. Why do her mouth shapes not work? I don't know. I guess we don't have any slots. Why do some of her mouth shapes work, but not all? This I don't understand. Let me check what's going on here. Okay. So we've got the can speak. That's fine. Here's the audio loudness tester. Everything looks good. Mouth open, mouth O. Oh, it's probably because the animation itself has keyframes in it for her mouth. That's what I'm going to guess. So let me check what. Here we go. So she's probably in rafting idle, and looking here, we have an eye attachment. We have mouth closed. I actually don't see any other keys. So it doesn't seem like we have an issue with her mouth. And I don't see any attachments here either, but playing, here's where we attach the mouth. So we don't have an issue with that. I don't know why let me try refreshing. You know, maybe it didn't update. That's one thing that might have happened. I wonder how I can validate that it actually updated. Fairy Girl, it certainly looks like it should have. I mean, it's all checked out and everything. We have mouth cheese. It is literally mouth cheese. That is the exact string, right? Lip sync. And mouth cheese is not present in lip sync, so it might be present in loudness tester. Okay, who's asking for the cheese threshold? Okay, here we go. It is mouth cheese, but it's getting an attachment. And looking here, it is definitely an attachment. So I don't see why we'd have an issue. I don't understand why her mouth cheese is never firing. She definitely has lip sync issues. Let's try one more time. Aging says, can you please give the core marketing tip? Oh man, this is my special button. It's my special button. Nobody asked me about marketing. I can't resist. I can't resist. Don't know. I don't have the strength to resist. I think most indies would be wasting their time. I think too many people think that marketing is the magic ticket, and it's not. It's the game. And to make a game that people want to buy is so the standard for the game is so much higher than people think it is. The average Steam gamer, the average Steam user is really hard to excite, and 90% of games don't even come close to exciting them. And once you do pass that threshold, once your game is like this level of enticing, don't confuse this with good game. I'm not talking about good game. I'm talking about thing that people want to buy right when they see it, right? So we're talking about a Steam page and what you can glean from the Steam page. Once you pass that threshold that people genuinely are really excited when they see it, then literally everything will work. To varying degrees, and certain things work better for some games than others, but that's when you can start talking shop about what festivals you should be applying for and how to run your campaign, and you know different platforms, which ones are working, which ones aren't for your game, what style of content marketing is going to work for you. That's when you can start talking about marketing. Most people don't have a game that is ready for that, and nothing will ever work for them. And I think that that's the most critical thing that people need to understand. Laddie Moy, I think that's the shortest I've ever gotten through that rant. So here we go. Laddie Moy says, make a deal with the devil and pray for your game to sell. Well, no. You've got to make a game that blows people's minds, and it's so freaking hard. It's hard to blow people's minds, but you need to be trying to blow people's minds. I wouldn't know how to blow people's minds if I didn't have very high level production skills. Like, back when I was 16, I wouldn't be able to blow anybody's mind. I can blow people's minds, in my opinion, because of my production skills. Jacqueline's production skills, Jenny's production skills. I feel like it's the production skills that stir the straw that stirs the drink are the core game dev skills, and if you're really freaking good at art and programming, then, or you have people that are really good at those things, and then of course you also are a great game designer, and you have great creative vision, then you can make something that interests people. Mossvale Studio says, hello, what's up, how's it going? Do you like incremental games? I hear they're a good bet for, I don't even know if I've ever played one. Yeah. Sorry, hey Nani. Gotta hear that rant again. Okay, let's talk to D.
Ready for me to ferry you to the festival?
Seriously, what is wrong with her? Like, why does her mouth... It's got to be the mouth closed shape. Is not... Mouth gaming. Oh! She doesn't have a mouth closed. She has a mouth gaming. No. Here it is. It's right here. It's called mouth closed. So why does her mouth closed disappear if she has a mouth closed? Let me set the time scale to 0.1. Okay, now the game is in super slow motion.
Ready for me to ferry you to the festival?
Well, that's not going to do because the audio doesn't go in super slow motion, so we'll do the time scale back to 0.
Ready for me to ferry you to the festival?
So I'm pretty sure I'm seeing 2 phonemes in there.
Ready for me to ferry you to the festival?
Don't understand why. Let me warp to Whisk. Of course, Whisk doesn't work. Actually, I don't think D is going to be in Whisk anyway, so who cares? Thanks, hey Nani. Yeah, I'm getting better at it. But someone will probably ask another question, which is fine, but trying to get off it. You know, I have a whole YouTube video on it. It's called Marketing is Not Why Most Indie Games Fail. Mossvale says, stuff like Cookie Clicker or Shell Diver make numbers go up. Yeah, no, I've seen them. I don't know anything. I have not done any market research on them, so I don't know what the top end looks like for them. I don't know what the sort of production quality benchmark is like to compete. I haven't really done a deep dive on them. I mean, it certainly has, with clicker games or incremental games, I mean, this is not what excited me about becoming a game dev. So I personally can never see myself making one. But yeah, if you're looking for a genre that might sell that is low production requirements, then seems like it might be a good thing to go for. We need a Danny rant command. Yeah, that might be good. Danvis says, this whole phenome business keeps giving me war flashbacks to Synchronic Linguistic 1. Oh, I've never heard of that. What is it? Mossvale says, I think people sell them cheaper but make them faster. Yeah, that makes sense. This is so weird that she is not... I guess it could also literally be the dialogue. I'm going to go check out her city version. So let's talk to D when she's in the city, and let's see if that makes any difference. And she's not cutting off, so I am going to move on from this. If it still doesn't look right, I'm going to move on from this because I want to keep things going. I want to kick a build today. There's people blocked. There's beta testers who are blocked, and we want to unblock them and keep things moving. God dang it, where are you, D? Let me set the time scale to 3, and let's walk down to the ferry. I assume she's at the ferry. She must be, right? Yeah.
Ready to cross?
Does your mouth go away? Why?
Ready to cross?
Why does your mouth just... It has to be mouth cheese. It has to. It has to be mouth cheese. She is not getting the mouth cheese. And I don't know why, because the attachment's right here and it's very dark. So it really would be very... Definitely a mouth cheese is triggering and it's not pulling it for sure. So let's go developer start settings. And let's move the player down. This is absolutely it. It absolutely is. I know it for facts. For some reason, whenever the mouth cheese is asked for, it's doing an empty thing. I'll try reloading it. Maybe it exported to the wrong place. But it's definitely, it's spine output fairy girl. So let's go. Here, I'll save this and let's go export. Spine. It's spine output. Wizard. Guys, it's not wizard. It's SOG. That's because this spine file is 7 years old or something. I don't know, 5 years, who knows. It's very old. Now we import. My God. Okay. That should fix it. Danvis says, I studied English and synchronic linguistics essentially teaches you the theory behind language, like how sounds are produced and how syllables are formed. Oh, interesting. That sounds really interesting. Latmoy says how sounds are produced. You mean mechanically in the mouth? Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, that was one of the stupidest freaking issues. So she just was not getting the updates. It was exporting, but it was exporting to a folder on my drive that nobody is looking at. So there's some errant wizard folder now just sitting in my drive. Mossvale says, how do you make the water look like it's moving? Where are you, fairy girl? What the heck? Where'd she go? Excuse me. The water, I just looked at real water and I just tried to unpack what was pretty about it. And there she is. I just knew that there was some kind of trigger somewhere. With the water, it's like, I think it's scrolling. It's like some kind of mask that's scrolling. Two of them are scrolling, and it's just taking like a very small band at the top of like the widest part. And so only when you get two like humps going over each other, it creates like a sparkle, I think. And then I have 2 layers of it, and then they're moving at different frequencies. Then I also have the shore fade. I've got some caustics here, which is just another scrolling. I use a lot of scrolling UVs. And then this water line getting thicker and thinner is a sine wave. And the sine wave is rolling against the depth buffer. So I don't know if any of that made sense, but those are all the basic principles of all the things that went into the water.
Ready to cross? Ready to cross?
Okay, whoa. I'm not happy here.
Ready to cross?
I still feel like her...
Ready to cross?
I literally don't think it's working yet. Why? Where did it export? Export spine output fairy girl. Oh, the suffering. The suffering is so powerful. Such powerful suffering. Thank you. Yeah, basically I exported it to another game. Latimoy says, can you explain why we have different voices, tones, different accents, language? Is it cultural or mechanical? What do you mean? Why we have different voice tones? Oh, you're talking to the Danvis. I see. Okay. Sorry. It's so confusing. Okay. It's being stupid. I always assume people are talking to me in the chat, but that's just because I'm self-centered and arrogant. All right. So I still question whether we're actually getting the right thing. So there's only one fairy girl path. I guess maybe I can check how the attachments in the atlas. There is a mouth closed and a mouth open, and there's no mouth cheese. This is, to me, this is good because it just means for whatever reason, we're just not freaking exporting. Let's get our start setting Sea Flower Festival. I have one of the stupidest possible issues, and that is that I can't export a freaking file. Like, why is it not exporting? Where is it going to? It's going to C. Here, let's stop dicking around here. Let's get this assets spine output fairy girl. This is the path, yo. This is it. Okay, well, the slash directions changed. I very much doubt that that was it. So it exported. It didn't look like it imported. I don't know what I'm going to have to do here. Looking at the atlas, we don't have a mouth cheese yet, as far as I can tell. So it's still, where is it going? Where is it going? What is happening? Packing. How dumb can you, here, I'll find it. I'll just find it. Is this one? This is the one, right? Select folder. There's nothing in there. I mean, I guess I could maybe put it in a folder next to it just to make sure that's actually Fairy Girl test. Could do Fairy Girl / Fairy Girl test, like that. Oops. Okay. So let's see if it actually exported. Okay, it put something in there. And then when I look at the atlas of this, I don't see mouth cheese either. There's mouth closed, mouth gaming, mouth open, mouth smile. Why? Why is this attachment not working? Is it because of the image path or something? I don't understand. If the image path is different, is it not seeing it as an attachment? What a stupid thing to get hung up on, really. What a stupid thing. Like, okay, if I just grabbed, let's go Fairy Girl. Let's go into assets. Let's go into spine, and let's go into spine projects, and let's go into Fairy Girl. Actually, it's in anim sprites. Okay, anim sprites. Anim sprites. Let's go into Fairy Girl, and then let's go into, let's find her mouth. Mouth closed, and then we should have a mouth open. Where is your mouth open? Mouth, there it is. Okay, and a mouth smile. All right, so let's duplicate the mouth open, and let's call it mouth cheese. And let's Control C, Control V this, and let's call this one mouth. We don't have a mouth O as far as I can tell. So now we have got the mouth cheese and the mouth O, and it's the exact same sprite. And I'm going to do mouth cheese, and we're going to clear the path. There we go. Now it's mouth cheese. And now we're going to go mouth O, and we're going to clear the path. Okay, now it's mouth O. Now it's literally pulling the image. So now let's go mouth closed, and then let's save, and then let's export. Is this going to make you finally like accept? Okay, so now it added mouth cheese, mouth O, and mouth open. I don't know if that's going to fix our issue. At least it added it to the decoy. So let me go ahead and delete this folder because we really don't need that. Then let's overwrite and export. Let's delete this last part and see if it Works. Let's check the atlas. And it has a mouth cheese. I still don't think it's going to work because the attachment should have been there even if it wasn't in the atlas. Oh God, I got the wrong start setting. There we go. Now it should put us right next to the Sea Flower Festival. I still don't think it's going to work.
Ready for me to ferry you to the festival?
It did. It did work.
Ready for me to ferry you to the festival?
My goodness.
Ready for me to ferry you to the festival?
It's so stupid. The attachments that I did before should have worked fine. But it indicates to me, I guess, that Spine doesn't like it when you just copy an image and then scale it differently. But I know we've done that lots of times before. Maybe it just doesn't like it if it doesn't have a skin hanger on it. Whatever, it's fixed now, so I should probably comment on it. Okay. Right, now we actually have to check. We have to check new guy here, Azat. So I should have actually gone to the festival, checked it out. No, you're good, Latamoy. Okay, let's go see our
Ready for me to ferry
Azat.
you to the festival?
See if he's still in a Speedo. He is. He's still in a Speedo. So I wonder, is it just the destination? Let's see how we're constructing the skin, and let's see if we can maybe construct. Oh, you know what it could be? It could just be his Z offset. That's much more likely. That is much more likely. The Z offset for his character might just be a little bit low. But first, I will check the Sea Flower schedule, which I think is far less likely. And if I wasn't such an idiot, then I would have just been able to do it in-game, but I exited out preemptively. But first, let's check new guy. New lady, new guy, there he is, modify, okay. And let's check his skins. So the way that the skin is constructed, we don't even do a skin. Oh yeah, here, new guy and then wetsuit. That's how we're constructing the skin. So we know for a fact he's in 3/4. So let's just save this and let's go into our main rig update and let's go to 3/4. We're in 3/4 and let's make sure we do new guy and then pin that and then add the wetsuit. Okay, he looks fine. Therefore, we know that this is just a Z offset issue. So if we back up and take a look at new guy and just grab his NPC and take a look at his specifically 3/4. I don't want to mess with too much stuff here. Let's just look at his Z offset, and it's negative 0.03. I happen to know that negative 0.06 gets rid of these problems most of the time. So I will now apply to the prefab there. I'll go ahead and save everything as well. Oh, it just occurred to me that Latimoy's apology was also to Danvis. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why am I like this? Okay. I'm pretty sure that fixed a new guy, which really was not a very high priority fix, but
Ready for me to ferry you to the festival?
just because I had the main rig checked out, I thought it would be good to fix it. Of course, it ended up not even being a main rig thing, provided that we actually fixed it, which I'm really thinking that we did. Please. Please be the fix. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Hell yes. All right, he's not in a Speedo anymore. Perfect. Okay, crossing off bugs. All right, let's do this. So this is done. Done. And then we've got the other issue. Okay. Turns out Clover did not have a mouth cheese. Don't know why we didn't notice this before. None of these fixes explain Agatha's cutoff. Agatha's dialogue skip. Let's add an emoji. Thinking. Thought. Question. All right. Thinking emoji. This is absolutely critical. Okay, so that's that. I'll leave that in here. Clover skips dialogue after Summerfest. Attach. Okay. After Summerfest. Okay, can't replicate. Plays the VO fine. Okay, so she just can't replicate. Anyway, I think that that is maybe the last fix I wanted to do before we kick our build. Now I just need to pull Loc, which is actually extremely involved and will take a long time because I need to make a new system because we have a new Loc sheet, which has multiple Loc sheets. And when we pull Loc sheet, we need to have a bunch of text files for it. So I need to go into localization and just check how we're actually pulling the text file, and we need to make an easy way to put multiple text files in there. Oh, Danvis, no worries. There's no... What are we saving the airwaves for? There's nothing else going on in the chat, so chat it up. Should be master Loc sheet. Here it is. So we're just literally loading the text asset. Now, how do these things come in? I want to know. If we just go to Google and download, does it download one per sheet? Let's see. Download as a TSV file. Oh boy, it just downloads one sheet, which is kind of annoying. Ooh. This is not ideal. Not ideal at all. What are we going to do about that? I guess we should make an actual... Well, let's see. Is the localization component in the scene? Yes, it is. It's on the game core. So we might actually want to reference these. I don't know why we're not. Why aren't we referencing them already? I wonder. Localization mapping. Here's the localization component. Okay. Imported translations is just a table. Why don't we just add a text file? I hate that I have to. I'm just trying to find an easy way to do this because this comes in as a TSV. And I would love if TSVs were treated as TXTs in Unity, but they are not. So where's the master loc sheet live? Show and explore. So it's just in resources. I don't think it has to be in resources. Why can't it just be a reference? I don't know why it can't just be a reference. Okay, let's go to our master loc sheet. Let's get the demo and let's go download a TSV. And then we'll put both of these in our resources folder. Okay, and now we need, in the localization class, I'm just gonna, oh, look at this. Okay, so we're adding the loc sheet. In this class, I'm just going to add at the top here. Oops, we need to check it out. Localization. And this is actually a pretty significant change. So we'll need to test it well. Although I don't test anything well now. I just let our testers test it. I'll just make a text asset array. And we'll just call this like master loc sheet files. And I just want to see if Unity can drop a TSV. I am 98% certain that it can't. Danvis says, talking about localization, are there going to be any localizations for Glimmerwick? You should have a few languages available. Yes, we have 7 other than English. We have Spanish, Portuguese, German, Russian, Chinese, Japanese, and French. Okay, so here is our master Lokesheet files. And we'll start with just 2, and we've got demo. Yeah, so it's not showing up. But JSON files do. What? Okay, so that means there must be a way to do it. There must be. And I'm going to find out. Unity, how to make TSV files show as text assets. Does not natively recognize the TSV extension as a text asset. To make TSV show up in the inspector, okay, you can use Unity's script importer to automatically convert them. God damn it. That sucks. But it does JSON files, so why can't it do? Just use a different extension. Interesting. Okay, so this is just an annoying little quirk. It's going to take me a long time to pull the sheet every time because I'm going to have to like rename them like this. And then it's also going to take me a long time to download. This is really clunky because we have all these sheets. Is there a way like Google Sheets download all sheets? Sheet tabs? Okay, so can't do it. File download, choose format, export a workbook. No, that's not a thing. I didn't know this was going to be so annoying. Wow, people are going through crazy lengths to make this happen. Oh boy. All right. So here we go. One sheet at a time. Okay, here we go in downloads. TXT. Yeah. TXT. And then we're going to cut those and then put them into the resources folder, which again, I don't really think they need to be in the resources folder. And then we should have how many? Let's see. 4. So there's just 4. First one is the demo, Loke sheets. The next one, I believe, is the dialogue. The next one is the full game text. Right? This is the right order. And then the next one is the new lines. Okay. And now let's go back into that localization class. We'll go ahead and save this. Let's see. I'm sure that's expensive for text and language heavy games. It is extremely expensive. Yeah, it was like $100,000 to localize our game into. It's going to be more than $100,000 into those 8 languages. Well, 7 other than the source English. And the Google Sheets download thing annoys me every day at work. Wow. Because some people only use Sheets and others Excel, so sending stuff is a crapshoot. Yeah, that's interesting. Modern problems require modern solutions. It's interesting that there's no easy way to download all the tabs in there. Okay, so looking at the code, instead of loading the master sheets, so it's just a string. I'm just going to comment this out. and comment this out. I just want to leave the old functionality just in case. And we're going to copy exactly what it's doing. We're definitely going to add, actually, we'll leave the loc sheet line in there. Or like adding the loc sheet one in resources. But instead of loading this, we're just going to start with master loc sheet files, the first index there, dot text. And then we're going to add, well, we'll just do a loop. We're just going to loop through the loc sheet files, and we're just going to add. We're going to start at 1 because we already have 0. And we're going to add each master loc sheet file of i.text. The only thing is when it adds, we probably want to put a new line in there. I'm not sure. I don't think there's actually going to be a new line character at the beginning of the text. So let's just make sure to do loc sheet. Oh, but this one works. Huh. Well, I don't think it can hurt to add a new line. Yeah, it can't hurt anything because it should just skip that line. So we'll just make sure to add a new line in there. And then I'm pretty sure I have to change something in the master loc. There's one little thing I have to change every time. Effing screw this says, when you started out, did you slowly gain traction, or was it a certain moment that stood out and helped you build an audience? Well, we already have shipped a game called Eastshade, which has grossed around $3.6 million. So, and it's kind of a cult game in the sense that the people who like Eastshade have like a really deep relationship with it and really like the game. Our Songs of Glimmerwick, when we announced the game, the news of the announcement was broken by IGN. It was broken by a journalist who was working there at the time, named Rebecca Love, and she called Eastshade her favorite game of 2019. So she absolutely loved Eastshade, and our publicist pitched the announcement of Glimmerwick to her. She said, hey, you know, that game you loved from Eastshade from 2019, your favorite game of 2019. Well, that studio has been working on a new game. It looks completely different than Eastshade, but they haven't said a word about it. They have an entire trailer. We had an entire trailer. It took us a year to make. And here's like all the details about it and everything. And they have not announced yet. Would you like to announce, cover the announcement? And so then Rebecca broke the announcement on IGN front page. And a lot of other, you know, we already had some kind of brand equity, but I also just think the trailer was exciting to people because the kind of game that it was. I think people still like farming sims, you know, the cozy, there's sort of a burgeoning cozy genre, but the game just looks good, you know, and it looks different. And I think it excited people. And we got a little bit of traction. We had a decent announcement. I think we had 20,000 wish lists from our announcement. I don't remember over what time period. I think 20,000 in the first month, which seemed solid to us. Something like that. I don't remember the exact numbers. But then our ambient wishlist rate has been pretty high. I mean, even when we're not doing anything, we've gone like, you know, entire year-long spans without making a single peep about the game. And we'll still be getting on average 100 wish lists a day, just ambiently, organically from nothing. And then we've had a lot of inflection points along the way. And right now, I think we have 167, maybe 168,000. We're closing in on 170,000 wish lists. I know that. Yes, we crossed 150. And we're flying beyond that. Since Next Fest, we were getting like 400 wish lists a day. for like many days in a row after Next Fest. So even the post Next Fest sort of buzz was pretty solid. But yeah, we're not even in the upcoming. We're not on the calendar yet. Once we get on the calendar, I hope we cross 200. I think we will. But Eastshade. So Eastshade is an interesting point of comparison because we had no brand. Nobody knew who we were. That was our first game. And our Eastshade announcement I did on my own personal blog. And, there's really no hoopla. I think like a month after Eastshade's announcement, Kotaku just I'm pretty sure they just emailed me and were like, did they even email me? I don't even think they emailed me. I think that they just covered it. They just saw it and they were like, this is freaking bananas. This is completely insane. Like when the Eastshade trailer came out, it was completely bananas. Like when people saw it, they were like, what? Like people were asking like, is this like a Skyrim mod or something? Like what am I even looking at here? And I think Kotaku, it was just, it looked crazy enough that Kotaku covered it. Just, I didn't reach out to them. I didn't do anything. I didn't do any PR outreach, no nothing. It just sort of created a little kindling. But we didn't have a ton of wish lists. I mean, we launched Eastshade with 28,000 wish lists. So we had an extraordinarily weak pre-launch cycle. I didn't have any frame of comparison. So it seemed okay to me. But then we ended up having an incredible launch for how many wish lists we had and an incredible long tail for that many wish lists. Danvis says, there's so few games like Eastshade. I think people grew up with certain kind of game where environment and exploration was really important, gravitate to those games really intensely. Yeah, I think the Steam audience is a little bit older, and I think that they like those kinds of experiences a little bit, but most people like combat, which is why Eastshade, did not sell well in like a mainstream way. It could never break into the mainstream without combat. I think if Eastshade had combat, I think it would have sold 10 times as much easily. It just would have been a mini Skyrim, which, I mean, where can you find that? You can't find a mini Skyrim that's like not a thing. So nobody's making fully voiced RPGs with, high fidelity graphics and stuff like that. So it would have sold a lot, but alas, that's not what we want to do with ourselves. What am I doing? I was about to kick a build. I was concatenating all of these strings, and now in theory, this should work. Okay, seems like all the strings have made it in here. So I'll just talk to D to make sure that's working.
Ready for me to ferry you to the festival?
Cool. Okay, not yet. And I'm gonna change the language. Right. This no translation is what I'm getting, and I think that that's because I need to change the top column in our log sheet here. Danvis says, for me, Riven was a really important game as a child. Eastshade brought back some of those feelings of a foreign but quite grounded world. I've never played Riven, but I hear that a lot. I hear people say that Eastshade has Myst vibes, which I always think is really interesting because one of our design pillars for Eastshade was that it was supposed to feel like a lively, bustling place, and I feel like the Myst games don't feel like that at all. But I think that the weirdness of the architecture maybe is what does it for people. Let's look at the master loc sheet. Look at the top column. It just says Chinese, and I'm pretty sure I need to go into the top column of this and delete the word simplified out of here, which is such an annoying, stupid thing. I should really just make it convert when it loads. Just save myself that step. Yeah, also the Myst games are puzzle games, and I very specifically did not want Eastshade to be a puzzle game. That's like, it's like really did not want to fall into any sort of puzzling. Like we actively avoided puzzles in Quest. I think we have like one actual puzzle, or like two, let's say two puzzles in the game. Okay, so now the Chinese is working. It's great. And I will change the language back. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Here we go. Done. Okay. Now we are ready to kick our build. Okay. Project settings. $495. Oh no, it is actually $494. One moment. Okay, and then we'll save. We'll save the project. And just make sure that we start with default start settings here. Default start settings. I will save all the scenes. Man, it's really frustrating. The next most important thing to do is actually to make a trailer. We have another trailer to make. We actually have 2 more trailers to make. It really bums me out because I don't want to work on a trailer. I want to work on the game. It's so annoying. But we can't have a release date announcement without a trailer, so... build game. But it's such critical time right now. Trying to figure out how to do a trailer in like one day because I don't want to spend like weeks on a trailer. It's gonna kill us. It's not gonna be a very good trailer. Danvis says, I think the Riven comparison comes from the fact that in the game and no other in the Myst series, the world did actually feel alive and lived in. Okay. Even though you didn't meet that many people yourself. Interesting. Yeah, maybe I should play Riven. I played a little bit of Myst, but those puzzles are way too hard for me. I do not want to think that much. Yeah, it's doing trailers is hard. You have to think of something. I mean, there has to be new shots. We can't just... If we use all the same shots, people like they're gonna be like, I've already seen this trailer. Like they don't remember what trailers, you know. There have to be new shots, unfortunately. And then yes, that's the trick, right? Timing the music is easy enough, but you have to have some kind of flow. Our trailers always have some kind of VO. What kind of VO? What do we show? What shots of what? We want to do game verbs. How much should we show? How much do we spoil? A lot. We already spoiled more than I would have liked to, but we have to spoil the game in order to make the people care about the game, which is annoying. The whole pre-launch cycle is annoying. I wish we didn't have to do it. But yeah, I really just want to focus on the game. Definitely focus on bigger chests. Well, the chests these chests are very big now. Okay, speaking of which, I got to type up a message. What did we do? I mean, there's a lot of stuff we did. We've got, let's check out. Some really important ones are Assad no longer wears a Speedo. I'll just do one at a time, get through these. You know, well, okay, Moon Poppy makes dough now. Okay. Fixed pumpkin soup, console air. All right. Fixed peony in, let's see. Fixed peony air during Amka's fireplace scene. Pretty sure that's the one, right? Okay, and wait a minute. Actually, oh, okay. Fix save compatibility issues regarding Gary from rolling back to 0.492, which really we shouldn't have bothered fixing it anyway. I don't know. Maybe it was an easy fix. But okay. Fixed cardinals error. I'll just say we'll put that one at the top. Fixed cardinals error stopping from proceeding to fall. I guess the next one is like added collision borders, Seaflower Festival, moved Griffin from Dark Forest to, that should be a spoiler. Okay. Oh, the other thing is like, let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, she did the nav mesh already. Cool. Excellent. That's awesome. Okay, great. What else did we do? Remove the bards. Remove the unfinished bards from the shrines. This one is going to be applicable to everyone, so let's do this. Made chests hold way more. Ensured not backward compatible. Only new chests will hold more. But if you take, okay. The game finished building. No! What? Oh God! Why? What? Okay. You know, I think I know why. Okay. It's because in the main menu, on the localization component, which it must have localization. I hate game dev, and I know you hate it too. We have, I don't actually hate game dev. I really love it. We've got our master, or no, it's the demo. And we've got our dialogue, and we've got our full game dialogue, and we've got our new lines. Okay. Now exit out of that and save. And now build, game, development, demo. Okay, what were we doing? We were making these notes. Made chests hold way more. Take everything out, pack it up, and then place it again. It should have the larger capacity. What is this? Insured what? What was I talking about? Insured. I don't know. Oh, I remember. Insured waterfall guy sells logs, twigs, and stone. Sure, I'll save this. Okay. The other really important thing was fixed line cutoff for D and mouth shapes for Clover. We're just getting started. We got so many things. I think we can put, well, technically the gondola taking less insta ungrows was last build. It's also kind of a spoiler, so I won't talk about that. Okay. What else did we fix? Acorn following at the Seaflower Festival. Okay. Acorn following you at the Seaflower Festival. Okay. And then we'll do that. Okay. I think we'll just go with that. Okay. That's it. That's our change log. And I'll post that live. Once it finishes kicking, which should be one moment, but I'm going to grab some water and BRB. Oops. 1 second. Oh, okay. Long BRB, long BRB. I've actually been through 2 iterations now of issues. So let's see. Okay, cool. That seems to work. Here's to hoping we don't get... All right, all the strings are coming in.
In the beginning.
Okay, intro
the
works,
universe.
skip works. And we'll just see if the first conversation works, and then we're going to exit out.
Island,
Okay, perfect. All right. All right, folks, sorry to leave right after the BRB, but I do have to run now. I want to thank everyone for hanging out with me while we get some stuff done. I'm going to push this build onto our beta testers, and hopefully it unblocks some people. And hopefully I'll catch some of y'all next time. All right, bye-bye, everyone.